Someday we'll get paid for this.
Hello, friends. From high atop the Scrapple News Towers in downtown Philadelphia, welcome to the Great Scrapple News Debate. I'm your host, your moderator, AP Ticker. Tonight's topic will be, why should I even bother to vote in 2012? Arguments will be presented by distinguished internet personality AP Ticker and his genetic doppelganger, AP Ticker. The audience has been instructed not to cheer or applaud except for this one time. Please welcome AP Ticker and AP Ticker. Gentlemen, it's common knowledge that both candidates are little more than pawns in a super-villainish game of control and dominance between the corporate masters that sponsor them. This small and incomprehensibly wealthy class of modern-day mobsters have our politicians and judges stuffed deep down in their pockets. It's just a fact of everyday life. Our entire political system has been reduced to an absurd pageant designed to keep the masses distracted while their lives and livelihoods are slowly stolen by faceless billionaires. So, why should we bother to vote at all? AP, you have the floor. People tell me I should vote for Obama because he's the lesser of two evils. But does there ever come a time when both choices are just too evil? I mean, let's take an extreme example. If Hitler and Stalin were running for president, who would be the lesser evil? I guess you'd have to vote for Hitler, since at least he didn't kill millions of his own people. Unless you're Jewish, gay, or a gypsy, then you probably have to vote for Stalin and hope for the best. Or perhaps at that point you need to say both are so horrific that you can't possibly vote at all. That voting for either just goes against any sense of humanity and decency. Well, how far does a ruler have to go to be too far? Thank you, Mr. Ticker. And may I say, you look superhumanly handsome today. Mr. Ticker, your rebuttal. Thanks, AP. Well, I guess my opponent would have to judge for himself when two politicians are truly so vile that neither is worth voting for. Unfortunately, what he doesn't take into account is that he won't be the only one affected by his choice not to vote. If you don't vote, then that's one vote taken out of an equation that would determine the political landscape of this country for the next 4 years and beyond. And if he chooses not to vote for the evil President Obama, it only empowers the evil Mitt Romney. Not voting doesn't fix any of the flaws in our political system. Hoping to cause a political change by not voting is like trying to find a new job by taking a nap. Look, Obama is killing hundreds of innocent men, women, and children, causing thousands more to live in fear 24 hours a day with his drone wars in Pakistan and Afghanistan. But hell with them. They're not even Americans. Even Bush and Cheney never went that far. He studied constitutional law at Harvard, and he knows the law. All right. He's a firm believer in the First Amendment and freedom of speech. That is, unless you have real information that's inflammatory about the government. For that, he has prosecuted more whistleblowers in 4 years than all previous presidents combined, including Bush. He's had Bradley Manning tortured, kept in solitary confinement, and detained without a trial for over 850 days. A vote for Obama is a vote to continue those same policies. And it's well worth considering that a vote for Romney is also a vote for those same policies. And then some. Is there any doubt that Romney would continue the pointless expansion of the military? Is there any doubt that he'd pursue the same free trade agreements that ship our jobs overseas? That he'd continue the same oil and gas drilling policies as Obama, whose energy policies brought us the BP disaster? Oh, I could go on and on and on and on about the uselessness of voting. But frankly, I'm mesmerized by the beauty of your eyes. Just two observations. First of all, we both have the same pen. And you, sir, have an enchanting musk. Now, I know lots of people are disappointed in Obama because he didn't give you the magical rainbow pony like he promised. But it seems this year you have a clear choice between someone who wants to throw Mom off Social Security and take away her medicine, or the person who saved the auto industry and killed bin Laden. Between someone who's put two left-of-center women on the Supreme Court and someone who'd stack the court with more Scalias and Thomases. In other words, corporate whores. Between a person who passed an imperfect health care reform law and a person who thinks corporations are people. You should at least vote to cancel out one mouth breather. This is off subject and it might seem a little weird, but I bet your lips taste like pepper and honey. Thank you. I bet your tongue is hotter than Georgia asphalt. You see, Obama is environmentally friendly. At least he told us so before he was elected. Since he took office, he's done nothing to halt the emission of greenhouse gases and reversed 20 years of federal policy when he permitted the expansion of fracking and offshore drilling. He also authorized drilling in federally protected lands, from sea to shining sea, including Florida, where he vowed he would never permit drilling. He does acknowledge global warming. Well, at least he makes an offhand comment about it during important speeches. Should I even talk about the refusal to prosecute Wall Street executives? Or the kowtowing to J.P. Morgan's every desire? Yes, I believe there does come a time when a man or woman has to say to himself or herself, the lesser of two evils is not good enough. I refuse to support either of these men. I refuse to endorse this system at all. Well, if you're that opposed to American politics, then get out there and start a Fight Club-style terrorist organization. And burn it all to the ground, my friend. Because what you have to realize is our system is set up to move slowly, very slowly. Well, the fact is it doesn't work well is a feature, not a bug. Deciding which corporate puppet you want leading the nation won't get any easier from here, so maybe it's time to stand up and do something. Or sit down and shut up. And if you are going to start a revolution, because that's the only way anything's really going to change, you'd better be prepared for the fact that what follows our admittedly corrupt system may be something far, far, far worse. Just ask the Russians who was better, the Tsar or Stalin, or if you prefer, Tsar or Stalin. Ask the Cambodians, ask the Afghans. Most revolutions fail or spiral into dictatorships. That was hurtful, AP. Hurtful and unnecessary. I'm sorry. Please don't be hurt. I'd hate to see even one tear stream down your soft, marshmallowy cheek. Look, a big part of the problem is that we have a two-party system, at least in practice. If everyone made the effort to vote, then maybe a third-party candidate would be representative, maybe a fourth or a seventh for that matter. But even that is a long and tedious process because true lasting change has to come from the ground up. Look, you could elect a Ron Paul Ralph Nader ticket to the presidency and they'd still have to work with the same old Democrats and Republicans in Congress. Now, how much do you think they'd get done? Things would be very different if we had a parliamentary system and proportional representation, but we don't. We don't. And nothing short of that revolution, which ain't gonna happen, will change that. You want to vote third party? Do it at the state and local level, where you actually can make an impact. In the presidential election? Dream on. Well, I'd admit that voting for a third party candidate would do as much good as not voting anyway. It's so hard to know what to do in this big crazy world sometimes. All of these hard choices, so many thoughts and feelings, strange, new, unexplained feelings that can't be explained or denied. I know what you mean. Seeing you now so open, so vulnerable. Just want to hold you, AP. Maybe the only thing we can count on is us. Well, folks, I guess this concludes tonight's debate. We heard both sides, and valid points were made. I'm not quite sure what we should take away from all this, but shit just got weird. I'm AP Ticker, and I'm gonna get me some of this sweet action.
Our mission is at once the oldest and the most basic of this country: to right wrong, to do justice, to serve man.